Hello everyone, and welcome to English EchoLingo. I am your host, Mike, and I am truly grateful that you have decided to spend some time with me today. In this space, we focus on deep, meaningful learning. I will speak slowly. I will use clear and simple language. And I will repeat important ideas. This is not just a podcast, it is a training session for your mind. My goal is to help you bridge the gap between knowing English and living English. Today, we are going to talk about a quiet revolution that needs to happen inside your head. It is a topic that almost every English learner struggles with at some point. The question is simple: how can I start thinking in English? Many of you tell me, Mike, I study grammar. I memorize vocabulary. But when I try to speak, I feel slow. I feel like my brain is stuck. I want you to know that if you feel this way, it is completely normal. You are not doing anything wrong. However, there is a barrier between you and fluency. And that barrier is translation. Imagine you are trying to run a race, but for every step you take forward, you have to stop and look at a map in your pocket. You wouldn't be very fast, would you? That is exactly what happens when you translate from your native language into English in your mind. You hear an English sentence, you translate it into your own language to understand it. You think of a response in your own language. And then you translate that response back into English. This process takes a massive amount of energy. It uses up all your mental power. By the time you are ready to speak, the conversation has moved on. This is why you feel tired. This is why you freeze. Translation is like a bridge. When you first start learning English, you need that bridge. It connects the unknown world of English to the safe world of your mother tongue. It helps you get across the river. But the problem is that many learners stay on the bridge forever. They never step onto the solid ground of the English language. To become truly fluent, to speak with confidence and speed, you must eventually burn that bridge. You must learn to go directly from a thought or an object to the English word. Let's look at how your brain works. Usually, when you see a physical object, let's say a wooden object you sit on, your brain does three things. First, it sees the image. Second, it finds the word in your native language. Third, it finds the English translation chair. This three-step process is the enemy of speed. What we want to do is create a shortcut. We want to go from the image directly to the word chair. This is not a magic trick. It is a biological reorganization of your thoughts. It is about building a new highway in your brain. So, how do we build this highway? We do it through small, consistent, daily habits. I want to share with you 5 powerful drills that will reprogram your mind. The first technique is what I call visual labeling, or describing what you see. This is the simplest way to start. Throughout your day, I want you to become a narrator of your own life. Look around the room right now. What do you see? Don't just look, identify. In your mind, say the words window, table, blue pen, computer. If you are walking outside, look at the world and label it. Green grass, tall building, red car, fast dog. You are not making complex sentences yet. You are simply teaching your brain that these objects have English names that exist independently of your native language. You are training your eyes to trigger English words. If you see something and you don't know the English word, do not feel frustrated. Feel curious. This is a moment of growth. If you see a specific type of bird and you don't know its name, think to yourself, I need the word for that. Later, look it up. When you find the word, go back to that image in your mind and label it. This builds a library of images in your head that are connected only to English. The second technique moves from objects to actions. I call this daily narration. This is where you describe your own movements as you do them. Think of it as a movie script for your life. When you wake up, think, I am waking up. I am stretching my arms. I am getting out of bed. When you go to the kitchen, think, I am pouring water. I am making coffee. The coffee smells strong. By doing this, you are connecting English to your physical body and your senses. This is much more powerful than reading a book. When you connect a word to a physical action, like pouring, your brain remembers it much more deeply. You are not just learning a word, you are experiencing it in English. The third technique is image association. This is a mental exercise. Instead of thinking of the word apple, and then the word in your language, try to see the apple in your mind. See the red skin, feel the crunch, taste the sweetness. Hold that image and say apple. Do this with abstract concepts too. When you think of the word happy, don't think of the translation. Think of a time you were smiling. Think of the feeling of sun on your face. Connect the English word to the feeling, not to another word. This removes the middleman. It makes your English direct and emotional. The fourth technique is perhaps the most famous, but often misunderstood: shadowing. Shadowing is not just repeating words. It is about becoming the speaker. When you listen to this podcast, or any English audio, try to speak at the same time as me. Copy my rhythm. Copy the way I pause. Copy the emotion in my voice. When you shadow, your brain does not have time to translate. It is too busy processing the sounds and producing them. It forces your mind to operate entirely in an English environment. It is like an intensive workout for your language muscles. Do this for just 5 minutes a day. It is like a reset button for your brain. It breaks the habit of internal translation, because it makes translation impossible. The fifth technique is finding micro moments. These are the small gaps in your day when you are washing dishes, waiting for the bus, or folding clothes. These are moments when your body is busy but your mind is free. Instead of letting your mind wander in your native language, claim these moments for English. Use these minutes to summarize your day or plan your evening. Tonight, I will cook pasta. Then, I will read a book. I will go to sleep at 11. These simple, low-pressure thoughts are the bricks that build your English house. I want to be very clear about one thing. You do not need to be perfect. In fact, trying to be perfect is what causes many people to go back to translating. When you try to find the perfect word, you get stuck, and then you reach for your native language for help. I want you to give yourself permission to use simple words. If you don't know the word for refrigerator, just think, the cold box. It's okay. The goal is to keep the flow of English moving. The more you keep the flow, the stronger the habit becomes. Now, let's talk about the roadmap. How long does this take? This is a journey, not a destination. On the first day, maybe only 1% of your thoughts will be in English. That is a victory. It means you started. After a week of these 5 drills, you might reach 5% or 10%. You will notice that small phrases start to pop into your head without you even trying. You might see a beautiful sunset and think, wow, beautiful, before you think of the word in your own language. That is the moment of magic. That is the proof that your brain is changing. In a month, you might reach 20%. In 6 months, you might find that when you are tired or dreaming, English words appear. This is because you have built a new home for English in your mind. You are no longer a visitor, you are becoming a resident. I want you to remember that thinking in English is a skill, and like any skill, whether it is playing the piano or swimming, it requires practice. You wouldn't expect to play a masterpiece on the piano after one day. Be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Every time you catch yourself translating, don't be angry. Just smile, and gently move back to English. This is a logical process. Your brain is designed to be efficient. Once your brain realizes that thinking directly in English is faster and easier than translating, it will start to do it automatically. You are simply showing your brain a better way to work. So, here is your challenge for today. Pick just one of the techniques we talked about. Maybe it is labeling the objects in your room. Or maybe it is describing your morning routine. Do it for just 5 minutes. That is all. Start small, but start today. Thank you for listening to English EchoLingo. I believe in your ability to master this. You have the tools, you have the path, and most importantly, you have the potential. Keep practicing, keep listening, and keep thinking. I'm Mike, and I look forward to speaking with you again very soon. Goodbye for now. Would you like me to generate a different script with a specific focus? Or perhaps create a summary of these steps in a table format for you?